God's decision is final. BD number 8370. January 2, 1963, the fact that you are facing a turning point, which will take place both in an earthly and a spiritual way, is certain. And once you merely observe the events in the world as well as the low spiritual level, it must also be understandable to you that this can only be remedied by establishing a new order, by restoring the law of eternal order. Humanity has overturned this divine order, and the spiritual essence embodied in the human being, which was supposed and also able to conclude its higher development, has utterly failed. Therefore new possibilities for continuing the development must be created, or for starting the whole process of development anew. There is noticeable chaos on earth, for due to people's inclination towards matter they have become completely disorderly. They are influenced by the one who governs the earthly world and have therefore also reached the low level which makes their earthly life pointless, and thus the time has definitely come which can be regarded as an earthly and spiritual turning point. Everything on earth will change, because the old earth will undergo a total transformation and a complete separation of the spirits will take place, so that people who had failed will be banished into matter again, and the spirits which are still bound in hard matter will be released in order to be able to continue their process of development in the new creations on earth. The old state on earth cannot go on, otherwise there would be no opportunity for the spirits to continue with their process of development. First, everything has to be arranged anew. Everything of a spiritual nature must be moved to where it belongs in relation to its degree of maturity, and thus even the human being who longs for matter must return to the state he had already long overcome, yet misused his attained freedom and therefore descended again into the abyss. Then divine order will exist on the new earth again, and people, too, will live within this divine order, for the new earth will be populated by those who had attained a degree of maturity on the old earth, which justifies their placement on the new earth. Both the earth as well as the human race will be completely renewed. A new earthly period will begin with spiritually mature people who will also help the spiritual substances bound in the creations with their advancement, which will proceed in lawful order again. You humans should not believe that a spiritual turning point will still occur on this earth, that people will change, that is, that they will improve and thereby create a change. This possibility does not exist. Only an act of violence can still achieve a purification of this earth. The goats must be separated from the sheep. God will have to implement a change because people are no longer capable of steering themselves into different waters. They keep descending increasingly further the more time they have. For this reason, the time in God's plan of salvation is predetermined, and this will be adhered to, for what He, in His wisdom, recognizes to be necessary and decides will be final and never change, for His wisdom is supreme and His resolutions are unchangeable. This is why all events in connection with this turning point can be revealed to people by His side. And credence can be granted to the prophecies which are proclaimed to people time and again through seers and prophets. The fact that the Last Judgment and the Earth's redevelopment have no parallel in the events humanity has experienced so far does not entitle people to the assumption that these prophecies are wrong. Yet people should bear in mind what is proclaimed and in store for them, and prepare themselves, for they still have a short time of grace which could be used if a person's will would only strive to do justice to his task on earth. Then he would not have to fear the end, because God will help every individual person who calls upon Him, and therefore He will reveal Himself through His word time and again. He announces the events, yet He allows every person free will, which therefore will also decide his fate. Amen.